bless us. The savior of Meridian has returned.
You earned this welcome. You saved them.
Not yet.
I have been super pumped about this game for years. Horizon Zero Dawn was my favourite game of 2017, so when I got the chance to sit down and play the sequel, I was frothing. Horizon Forbidden West jumps straight from the events at the end of Zero Dawn and into chasing down answers to a blight that is beginning to stain the land. It took some time before I really warmed up to the game, but if you manage to actually make it to the Forbidden West, you're rewarded with fantastic new friends, an engaging narrative, and an experience that's well worth your time. One of the things I really loved about Zero Dawn was how every single character you came across felt like they lived in the world. No matter how minor their part to play was, their animation, dialogue, and quests were treated with care and added at least a little something to the world Aloy is trying to save. This treatment carries over solidly into the sequel, and I do appreciate that Forbidden West hasn't forgotten the characters of Zero Dawn either. However, I totally have. It's been 5 years since I played the first game, and I'm sorry, but Forbidden West never reminded me why I used to care about you, or you. And I'm pretty sure I loved you in the first game, you seem pretty cool to me, but I really have no clue who you are.
Fire and spit. Fire and spit.
Zero Dawn dazzled me with its stunning opening cinematic that sucked me straight into the intricate, detailed world that Guerrilla has forged. Expecting players to already know what they're in for, Forbidden West seems afraid to bore them with a slow start and attempts to jump right into the action. Ironically, the race to catch me up on the last game's events made the first few missions such a slog to trudge through. I had lost my personal attachments to absolutely everyone, and the game never gave me time to reacclimatize to the world and the characters I probably once loved so dearly. So, my best advice for anyone starting Forbidden West is to either play the first game again, or just trudge on through, because it is well worth it. The world of Horizon is a wonder. From vibrant villages to vine-covered ruins, from candid present-day moments to the history of the old ones, rich stories and lore are buried beneath the gorgeous graphics and constant lens flares. One of the first peoples we come across in the West is the Utaru. Quick warning, minor spoilers for the main missions in the first act of the game coming up ahead. A tribe of humble farmers, the Utaru are one of the worst hit by the blight. When you take the time to look around their villages, you see that the Utaru are a communal people, shared sleeping spaces, communal crops, and they are quick to gather when a song starts up. Their ideals are heavily inspired by nature and respect for the cycle of life at the center of their beliefs.
An outlander might find it difficult to understand. All Utaru carry seeds that are planted when we pass.
Life gives way to decay, decay death, and death brings new life. Somehow, the spirit of this seemingly simple ideal is a cause for contention among the tribe. The elders are determined to give way to the blight and let new life spring from the tribe's death.
Like Fame, who would have us simply wait to die. You heard him. Death is merely part of the grand cycle.
Understandably, there's a sizable chunk of people who oppose this view. Zoe is one of these people, a passionate young Utaru who has a heart for justice. She's fairly similar to Aloy, but in my opinion, acts upon her better impulses and behaves in a way I think Aloy could learn from.
I'm sure you know how to handle.
Even in the West, Aloy continues to do what Aloy does best, stepping on people's toes.
How? By inviting you to break our traditions?
She doesn't have much care for the stifling traditions of other tribes, something that isn't missed by anyone who comes within 5 feet of her, and is determined to argue for proactive action against the blight. Fortunately, her brash rebellion and dissociation for these customs is countered by Zoe's passion for change, an attitude that feels far more respectful than Aloy's approach ever was.
We have stood by and watched as our land gods waste away. You would have us do the same with our neighbors, our children.
Unearthing the politics of the Utara tribe is just one part of the joy the Forbidden West has to offer. Along the way, you'll discover the seeds, the culture of the Tanakh, and meet fun and interesting people, some of whom end up joining your cause.
Good thing you're on my side then.
While the world is amazing to dive into, sometimes the world building itself, narratively speaking, isn't the most engaging. A multitude of data points lying everywhere, dialogue trees that last about 10 minutes. I'm torn because the content is interesting. These stories add to the world, the vast majority of it all is spoken well, and above all, it's optional.
I need to be on my way.
But the execution isn't the most enthralling. And the characters, you get really good introductions to them, but then as the story progresses, they slowly lose focus along the way. Any character development happens off-screen.
I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
The strange thing with both Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West is that I know Guerrilla, the developers, can do games incredibly well. They have the potential to absolutely blow me away and immerse me in the deepest parts of their lore. I know this because they succeed at doing it in multiple areas of the game. But somehow, overall, they just falter before the level I expect them to reach. Maybe it has something to do with Aloy's character.
Whatever risks I have to take, I will.
She likes meeting people once, but she's so focused on saving the world and humanity as a whole that she consciously pushes the ones who stay away.
This is on me, Varl. Nobody else.
Even in the first game I found this so disorienting. To the story's credit, it does comment on this personality quirk to the point that it's become one of the main themes.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
Look, allies, friends can help.
But it just makes it hard for us as players to see Aloy's friends and allies grow and change as people because Aloy doesn't have much to do with them.
How have things been since
Your silent departure? Yeah, not bad.
Which is a pity because these characters are absolutely lovable.
Sorry my whiskers offend you, anointed.
Please let us see more of them, Guerrilla. While Aloy is ignoring her companions for the most part, she's out in the wilds trying to save the world. Sliding into attacks, stifling into danger, impaling people with a big-ass spear. Combat in Horizon has always been good, but this is much better. Mechanically, it's all somewhat familiar from the last game, but it's definitely better set up to help you create specific builds. A mix of new and familiar weapons will help you survive the Forbidden West, including encounters with never-before-seen machines. There's a greatly refined skill tree, gifting you with new abilities, melee combos, and a variety of ways to use the same weapon. And the crafting table lets you improve your equipment, with the highest upgrades taking you on dangerous excursions to fight the most deadly machines. Of course, there are moments that feel super janky. A lot of my early footage features the awkward lack of eye contact that has since been fixed, so please ignore that. And there are times where you're like, oh my goodness, hurry up, Aloy, just get over this frickin' tree.
Efficient and effective.
These moments are probably only so notable because everything else is so good. And it is good. This is a good game. I highly recommend you play Zero Dawn if you haven't, and I recommend you play Forbidden West if you've enjoyed the first. As a sequel, Forbidden West does well. New combos and abilities improve upon Aloy's skill set, new machines, new tribes, new politics, new cataclysmic events, and the stakes just keep on escalating. There's even good groundwork for some decent character development that they hopefully use well in the next game.
Fine. Go grab your things.
It has a slow start, and much to the disdain of its devs, Horizon Forbidden West is no Elden Ring.
That was an unkind comparison.
But if you actually crack on to the lands of the Tanakh, you should have a good time.